Today we're taking a look at this remote control shark from Temi. It comes with a range of features which hopefully adds to the fun that can be had when playing with this in water. Let's get started. As always, let's take a look inside the box first. It comes in a 2-layer package. Here we have a bag with a USB drive which is used to charge the batteries, a screwdriver, a 1-page user manual, thankfully in English, some spare propellers with their screws and 2 batteries. Next we have the remote control. Not the best build quality I've seen, but it's a toy after all. Lastly, the remote control shark, which actually comes in 2 separate pieces. It is bigger than I expected, but half of it is literally the tail, so yeah. The build quality of the shark feels much better than the remote control, also heavier than I expected. It'd be interesting to see how this performs. And a label here to tell you it won't run until you put it in water. On the top it has a hole here which sprays water and an LED light next to it. These 2 propellers here are the engines of the shark, pushing it forward and backwards. Let's attach the tail on by placing it in the assigned slots, and it easily clicks into place. And the tail is really cool. The pieces are perfectly put together to create this flexible movement. Underneath you have the water pump here, which is how the shark sprays up the water, and the battery compartment right here. The cover on this is waterproof, so no water can go in and ruin the batteries. And finally, these 2 sensors here which detect whether the shark has been placed into the water. Before we get set up and test the shark, let's also take a quick look at the specs. So the remote control shark measures 15 inches in length and has a width of 6 inches, weighing only 205 grams. The remote control is much lighter at 117 grams and measures 5 by 3 inches, so it'll easily fit into smaller hands, which of course is the target audience. It supports 2.4 GHz, more than enough to maintain a solid connection in most scenarios. The 2 batteries weigh just 14 grams and have a power output of 500 mAh, which can apparently last 20 minutes each, but we shall test that later on. The remote control takes 2 AA batteries. The cover can be taken off by pushing this blue dot, which is much more convenient than using a screw. And the power button here that turns on the LED light at the front. It will blink until it has connected to the shark. The joysticks on this are also interesting. It only goes up and down on both sides. On the right, pushing up moves the shark forward and right, pushing back moves it backwards and right. And it's exactly the same thing on the left, except everything's to the left. There are also 2 buttons at the top, one to spray water and the other to do a little demonstration if you're too lazy to drive it yourself. The batteries are rechargeable and they use the USB drive for charging. Simply insert this port into the back of the USB and plug that into a port somewhere. I'd recommend a computer port to avoid too much power, which could ruin the batteries before you even use them. I'll insert into this power bank for demonstration purposes, and as you can see, the light turns on when charging and this will turn off once it's fully charged. Now over to the shark. This is the water pump. You don't really need to open this, but I will show you what's inside. Just a little fan that helps the water spray out. Let's get that back on and open the battery compartment. Pull out the little wire, connect to one of the batteries and insert that back in. Make sure you tighten this cover back on to avoid any water making its way into this. When taking it out, I'd recommend using some tweezers as it can be difficult to pull out. Right, let's get this tested. Turn on the remote control and place the shark in the water, and as you can see, it lights up letting you know it has detected the water, and the LED on the remote control also turns off to show it has connected successfully to the shark. The movement of the shark is smooth. It responds well to the remote control but does take a little while to get used to due to the unconventional controls. A few tips I've figured out so far. Holding both joysticks forward makes it go in a straight line, and similar if you hold them backwards. Holding one up and one down results in a circular movement, almost like doing donuts in a car. The automatic demo button ends up hitting the walls of the bathtub, so it's probably useful in a bigger area, and the spray is pretty powerful as well. Okay, so that's that, and I can assure you this is pretty fun to play with. Now, in terms of performance, it's surprisingly good. The batteries only take approximately 25 minutes to fully charge from 0 to 100, and it gives you around the same playtime, if not more at times. I had to test this twice just to make sure I wasn't tripping, and it managed to last above 25 minutes each time. Since this comes with 2 batteries, it'll give you around an hour of playtime, which is very impressive. You can grab this for around $30 on Amazon and other places. I'll leave the links in the description. Overall, this is a great toy for any occasion, whether that's in a swimming pool or in a lake somewhere. Just make sure the water is still and preferably clear. It's a fun gadget you can gift to any child and they'll for sure have a great time with it. That was my review of the remote control shark from Temi. Comment down what you would like to see next. That's all for now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!